there for now. Podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate the support. If you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But the first thing we were going to do today is the same as always. We were just going to go around the circle and ask everybody what they've been up to, what cool stuff has been happening to them, and all that good stuff. So we'll start off with Cam down south. And yeah, what cool stuff has been happening to you that ideally fish related, but hey, you can say whatever you want.
Absolutely nothing. I
Cool.
was
All right, Ryan, what's yours?
Yeah, sick last week, so there was nothing on for me to. Yeah, pretty much.
No, you were going to say something. What were you going to say?
I was sick last week, so absolutely nothing happened.
Oh.
What about the Blue Rams? The Blue Rams happened. They've been cool.
Yeah, but I've had them for like 3 weeks now, so quite
new for the customers at least.
Yeah. We released all of our electric Blue Rams. That was, yeah.
We were talking about it on amongst ourselves off air, and you're actually getting known as the electric Blue Ram guy, I reckon. Because like the day or like the morning that you released them, I had like 4 people come in like talking about them. Like some people had bought some people were saying like, oh, I really wish it had been next week, and then my tank would have been up and running or whatever it was. And
yeah,
so yeah, that's pretty cool. You're getting known as the Ram guy, so that's good to hear.
Yeah. The Ram
and they NZ bred as well, which is always good too. So hopefully they're a bit more stronger and a bit more
supporting local breeders too. So it's a win-win situation.
Better than shit imported ones, hopefully.
Yeah, the guy that breeds them knows what he's doing, which is nice. And they come in at a really nice size as opposed to sort of smaller runty and everything, which is cool too.
Yeah, because that's the problem. Because it's a lot of the electric bluefish, but obviously, including the Rams, is like when they're little, they're just like grey. Because it's the blue takes a while to come through, and there's no like undertones or anything. So obviously they don't look very cool for a while until they get big. But once they get big, it's like such a random color. You wouldn't normally expect that.
No, I guess that's a man-made fish for you.
Exactly. Oh, what have you been up to, Ryan? Also, sorry, just for the listeners, all this banging around is Kim is making lunch or something. So I apologize for the noise, but
it's always Ryan.
Continue, Ryan.
It's Ryan always my fault. Trouble. At least I showed up on time this time. So
we appreciate it.
All right. We can just wait for Tonto to lose his mind, and then we can interrupt again to explain that away.
Usually Theo that loses his mind, but that's all right. The most exciting thing that happened to me fish-related last week was the fish club meeting last week. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah? You enjoyed that?
Yeah, it was fun. It was way more fun than I thought it was going to be because I didn't really want to go, but then Cam kind of dragged me along. I thought, I better. And it was real fun. Frank did a really good job of running it, and there's lots of different stuff happening that never really happened at fish club meetings, and it was a pretty good turnout.
This is the Auckland Aquarium Association, just for people who aren't aware, which had its first meeting last week. It probably was. So, like by the time you're listening to this, probably like 3 weeks ago. But yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool. I'll let Cam tell you about what I won because that was the fun thing about it all, and he'll tell the story better than I will. But yeah, it was fun. It was cool.
So as we all know, hold on. So as we all know, Ryan is a African Cichlid guy pretty much exclusively. Actually, exclusively aside from, I suppose, bristlenoses is the only exception to that rule.
But he's a super plant guy as well, with all of his Anubias going on.
I'll grow plants that don't need substrate.
Boom. Loophole.
Yeah.
But so in keeping African cichlids, as a lot of people will be aware, plants is a challenge, shall we say. And particularly in like a breeding environment where it's not a lot of the whole aquascaping thing going on. So knowing this, the fish gods decided to play an absolutely classic prank on Ryan. And there was a raffle where you got like free tickets when you walked in, or like one free ticket, and then you could win stuff. And knowing this, and also listening to Ryan talk so much smack about how he was going to win, and they should just stop giving away tickets because he was going to win it all anyway, the fish gods decided to give Ryan, I think it was like 10 kgs of Chihiro's aqua soil, which
It was 3. It was a pretty big
3
bag,
kgs, but still a big bag of Chihiro's aqua soil, which is, if any aquascapers are listening, not going to be cheap, but of absolutely no use to Ryan whatsoever. So it was a classic prank by the big fish upstairs, shall we say, and yeah, I think he ended up just giving it to this little kid that was there because obviously he's not going to use it. But it was funny that he won something that's of no use to him rather than, literally anything else.
Yeah, it was quite a high value item that a lot of people probably wanted, and I definitely did not want, or could never use. And yeah, I won it. It was pretty funny. We laughed.
Yeah, everyone was laughing. I think the picture of you receiving it is actually the cover photo of the group now, which is hilarious. So that moment is immortalized in history.
Frank will be having some fun with that, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure everyone is. Any 3 Idiots listeners, I'm sure will know what's going on there. We'll be in on the joke.
But Andre did a really cool talk too at the meeting. I can't pronounce his last name, but his first name's Andre. About going through the Amazon, and he had lots of cool underwater footage of lots of fish that we can actually get and recognize and stuff. So that was pretty cool too. It was a good story. Yeah,
there's like all sorts of like pictures and videos and all this kind of stuff. It was real interesting. And like fish that you wouldn't necessarily first think of, like festivums and stuff like that.
Festivums, angels.
Cardinals, all sorts of pencilfish, all sorts. Basically, think of an Amazonian fish. There was probably a picture of that. Obviously that's an exaggeration, but like
it was just cool seeing all the videos of them all living together too. There's lots of pistogramma and stuff all cruising together. So yeah,
you forget about like how dense the Amazon is. Like there's just fish all over the place. Like swarms and swarms of the things. So,
and he covered a little bit about how the industry there's collapsed and how the effects it's sort of having on them and that. So that was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
not cool, but interesting.
Yeah, cool to know, I guess. Not cool that it happened.
Yeah.
So if you're anywhere, make sure to join the Facebook page. Contact Frank Mueller for the information, all this kind of stuff. I mean, it'd be a good time. I'll be there. Ryan will be there. Cam will be there in spirit. He might be there in person one day. You never know. But yeah, it was a really good time. It was I don't know how many people. Probably like 60 people, I reckon, easy.
Do you reckon it's 40 or 50? I think, but yeah, it was a good turnout.
Still, it was a lot of people.
I thought he'd be lucky to get 20, but it just filled the room. It was cool.
And then I know of so many people who wanted to go, but like had work or like were away or whatever, being the school holidays. So like, I think the numbers will only go one way, to be honest.
Because I thought it was going to be dumb, I didn't actually pressurize any of my friends to go either that keep fish. Because I dragged them along to dumb fish club meetings for many years, and they were all dumb and they didn't enjoy it. So next time I may put a bit of pressure on some other people to come too. So
good to hear. I look forward to it. We can probably announce what you were saying about yesterday, because by the time this podcast come out, it'll be like next week that the meeting is or something.
Oh yeah, I think I'm talking at the next one. I think Frank's asked me to talk, so I'll do something. But I've only been given 20 minutes, so I don't know if I can. Well, I can talk about for 20 minutes, so that's all right. It's
I'm pretty sure if you were talking about African cichlids, there'll be less people turn up. So maybe be a little bit more broad on your topic than just Africans.
Well, the last one was about Amazonian fish, and I enjoyed it. I still
but
think
that's
they're dumb fish.
That's why
You got to
many
broaden
people
your
don't-
horizons.
If you start talking about African cichlids, less people will turn up.
We'll see. We'll see.
Talk about being bald. Talk about being weak when you're sick.
I'm thinking of that song, like, instead of my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, it's going to be like some of that African cichlids, and they're all going to come in, and it's going to be massive, you know.
You should, you know what you should talk about? You should talk about shell dwellers, because people would like, even like community fish people and like discus people, and like anyone will love that. Not that I'm biased or anything.
I'm
Of
thinking I'll
course.
just do something very, very specific and very small, and then at least if they need a speaker later, I can talk about something else and talk about something else and talk about something else later if needed.
Yeah, man. Well, the good thing with fish is you'll never run out of topics or anything.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can think of something.
Talk about how easy it is to grow Nubius and make all the other plant geeks here angry and upset at your high ability.
Mm.
You can't talk about how easy it is to grow here.
Also, I think in the last no, it's all right. That didn't happen. Don't worry. School started back yesterday, and all the kids parents are all fizzing about the fish tank and comes class too. So that was good.
Cool.
Oh, good to hear it.
Yeah,
I'm glad. That's the main thing.
Oh yeah, and I think even she's been surprised about how many people like it and think it's cool, even though she does.
Fish are cool. Oh, it's progress at least.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to quickly mention is, if you haven't already, if you're listening on Spotify or something, you should check out the podcast on YouTube. If for no other reason, then go onto YouTube today and look how bald Ryan is today, because he got a haircut. And the person who comes up with the best joke about it by next recording will get a shout out. How about that? So keep it PG. Don't be mean, but comedy has never hurt anyone. So
you can be mean. That's fine. I'm pretty mean too. So you know, I'm just sick today, so I haven't had any come up with any insults for the inbred one yet. But it'll happen.
I like how you say yet. All right. So, I haven't said what I've had happen. Nothing really that exciting has happened. I got some real big Africans, which was cool, but like kind of creepy. Like I got this one dolphin that like I feel like is gonna eat me one day. So that was cool, but that's probably the only thing. Got some nice dragon sploods in that. So if you haven't already, check out the pictures on Facebook and stuff. And yeah, that's about it. We'll stop wasting time and jump straight into today's topic. So the topic for today is we're going to be talking about our top, probably 5 if there's time, but maybe top 3 display aquariums. So like this is not specific aquariums like that we have, but it's like, I guess Dream Aquariums is the way of describing it. So I just thought it'd be something fun that, we can just talk about because it's fun and easy, and that's the best part. So I don't know if you want to start first, other Cam, with your number 1, but away we go.
Cool. I've always wanted to do a pea puffer tank, and the more that I'm learning about them, the more I want to do one.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What are you thinking about in terms of like size and like aquascape and like all that? I would say tank mates, but that's a bad example to start off when talking about tank mates. But all the specs. Give us all the nerdy details.
Probably a 2 or 3 foot tank. Probably something along the shape with lines of a like Blue Planet 150, maybe a little bit shorter than that, with a bit of extra depth towards the back of it, and probably just full of wood tangles and cryptocorynes and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, maybe some dwarf sedge at the front, that type of scenario.
Yeah, I can see that being real cool. Like, you'd have a lot of what's it called, tannins and stuff in the water, right? for that sort of setup, I'd imagine.
I
Not a
don't know
lot,
if
but like some.
I think I'd probably leave that one as a clear tank.
Oh,
probably-
interesting take. Yeah, that makes sense. I suppose with the color and pattern of the pea puffers, actually, tannins might make it a little bit challenging to see anything.
Where do they come from, pea puffers?
Oh, that's a good question.
The fish shop.
I don't know.
India, I think. In either India or Sri Lanka. I can't remember which one. So I'm going to assume Ryan is Googling something. But yeah, I think that's a really cool idea.
Indian dwarf puffer, Malabar dwarf puffer.
Yeah.
So they must be from India.
One would assume.
Cool.
But yeah, I got
India.
I got this tank set up to sell pea puffers. That's like, I don't know what it is. Maybe like 1 foot by 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet, but like, I don't know, 2 feet tall or something, I guess. And because the idea was kind of to double it as a display, but that's more because like people like pea puffers. Like I personally was never really that high on them. But like even having that and like just watching them and like feeding them and everything, I'm like, man, these are such cool fish. Like not the most colorful or like showy, but like super interesting and like super like weird. Like that one where people like you have it just in your house and your neighbor's kids come over, be like, what in the heck is going on here? You've got puffer fish that just live in your house. Like it's so odd. And then obviously you can go to town on the plants and all this kind of thing, to give it that whole like lush kind of forest vibe.
Just a bit different to other fish.
Yeah, exactly. It's with pea puffers. I think they're the best thing with them is that they are like they're a good second fish. Because obviously it'll get a bit boring just having one. Like one tank with just one type of fish, but as a second tank or like a third tank, I think it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people really get a lot out of it. So I like your choice there.
The only thing that's always a little bit of struggle is making sure you're feeding them adequately.
Yeah.
So for that reason, I'm not sure if I'd do it at home because I don't know if I could be bothered having a brine shrimp set up at home and going through that on a daily basis. But I'd probably set one up here at the shop or here at work because brine shrimp
that
roll
makes a lot of sense.
every day, all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the best option for them. Like, you can do frozens and stuff as an option, but even frozens, like sometimes they take, sometimes they don't, and like you can get them on Bites, but I wouldn't bet on it and like all this kind of stuff. It's like live brine shrimp, Daphnia, microworms, other little stuff like that is just so easy, and they get a lot. They're a real weird one because like obviously they get real fat when they're full. Like you can really see when they're eating well and when they're not. So I would just like setting up a little microworm culture or something would be a good option. Obviously you'd have to get around the smell factor, but it is a really good option, I think. So yeah, all good. Well, I think I'll go next. Oh no, Ryan can go next if Kim's stopped banging around. Yeah.
I think Kim stopped banging around.
Next. Good.
I'm gonna throw out something that people won't expect. I would like to do. Well, she's pointing fingers at me. How rude.
Helensville, man.
Yeah, she's a bit crazy, that one. I would like to do a Ultimate Angel tank. I think it'll be wicked.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Mano style Ultimate Angel tank, with I don't know how to describe the aquascape, but with plants and shit and a whole bunch of Ultims cruising around in it. A taller tank rather than a big one.
Give us more specs. Like give us the dimensions of the tank and like where you'd put it, like in your house or whatever, and give us the type of plants and the type of scape and equipment, and give us some more juice.
I don't even know what that means, but it'll be a big tall tank, and it'll be like one of the ones that Amano sort of does those poses on top of, and it'll just look badass, you know. And there'll be angels
Yeah.
sort of out there, probably some little other dumb fish swimming around with the angels to make it not just an angel tank, but you know, you get the
You
idea.
could chuck some plecos in that bad boy.
Well, I guess you'd never see them, so you can put whatever you want in there. Do they add to the?
Yeah,
Do they add to the bio load if you don't see them?
I don't know. Asking the real questions there.
Does it count? It's like if a tree falls in the forest type scenario, but you know, that's just a wild card that I've always thought would be real cool. And now we've got Ultims in the country. It might be possible one day.
See, if anyone needs insect screens, go buy them off Ryan so he can fund his Ultimate Angel mission. We'll call it a mission.
The problem is that Kim's here, but I'm not allowed any more tanks inside, and I just love my African Cichlid tank too much. So, and I don't want to spend like 450 a fish on Ultims. So, breed them.
Oh, good. Well, I know 2 people trying to breed them, so at least it's something's moving on them, you know.
And with the renovations, Kim said that I could put more tanks in the expansion that we're doing in the house.
Yo,
she hasn't.
You're gonna have to.
She hasn't yet, but she will.
You're gonna have to propose soon. Get her really on side.
What's the next tank, eh? Who's the
it's lucky you're wearing headphones. Yeah. But you can't say anything. I'm just gonna clip this part and then anonymously send it to her, and then you'll be stuck having to propose.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that sounds like a cool idea and something a bit out of left field, but I like it. I like the way you think, you dirty boy.
No, you did.
So for me, I don't know which one. So my suggestions, like none of these are in order or anything, by the way. But the one I've been thinking about a lot recently would be like in, a living room or a house or something, like a real good size, like, like a 6-foot tank, 180 centimeter long tank with like only blue dolphins and venustus, just like a big group of both, like males only. And then like, a bunch of like, I don't know, petricola or something, like something floating around the bottom. But I think that'd be really cool because like I think the colors would balance quite well, and they get a little bit bigger than like a lot of peacocks and stuff, so it's a bit more of a striking sort of look. You know what? Even like obviously I don't have this, but like even in like a cafe or like a restaurant or something, I think that'd be so cool because then if you're sitting like, down the other end or something, you would still be able to see them. Like if you had the problem is like, you have like a community tank there or something, you can't really see the fish if you're real far away because they're too little. But yeah, I reckon that would be so cool. If any service clients out there would like the sound of that, hit me up. I'd love to do that. But yeah, I reckon that'd be so cool. And then like some real sort of legit lighting, like light that bad boy up. Obviously, we'll have to manage the algae and everything, but I reckon that'd be so cool. That's my like somewhere in a high traffic area. That's my. Actually, that probably is my top, shall we say? I think that'd be so cool.
Butterfly Creek used to have a bunch of big hips in that 11-meter tank when you go in.
Oh, nice.
It used to be an African tank, and they had like venustus and walleye cadango in there, and they were probably 11, 12 inches, but because we get up to 30 centimeter mark. So they were like, 2 hands long. They were massive in the air. That was just so impressive. That was so cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I haven't actually been to Butterfly Creek since I was little. I don't think. I might have to chuck it on the to-do list.
When you went there, but you wouldn't have been aware of it.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I remember they had a little train that you used to ride on. That was like the only thing I remember from the whole experience. But yeah, it's funny because I never Well, I still don't know if I massively am the world's biggest fan of Venustus, but
They're
in that
awesome.
sort of situation,
Of
I don't
all
know.
African cichlids not to like, you don't like one of the coolest ones.
They just don't do it for me. I don't know. Like like they're cool and everyone seems to like them, but like personally, they're not my thing.
I think they're cool.
I
Yeah.
think you can do better. But yeah, so that's my sort of super cool tank, and I'd want to like a big like legit sump on it and everything like that. Like you know, make it easy and like super crystal clear water and all this kind of thing. I think that'd just be so cool. So much fun. So yeah, like just imagine just chucking like a bucket of like earthworms or something in there. That would be so fun, and they'd just go crazy. It'd be like a bunch of
We're
piranhas
literally
shooting
feeding
around.
the piranhas. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That would be so much fun. God, maybe I have to do this. I have to find someone in the shop to do this.
Time to get rid of the Oscars.
Oh, oh,
Penny
don't
Penny
say that.
can't go though.
Nah, I just gotta get another big tank. Boom, problem solved.
When that building next door comes up for lease.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Just build one massive tank to take up the entire thing, and call it a day, eh?
Just knock out a viewing window in the wall.
Too easy. What more could you want? Go for a swim there every day? Easy. So yeah, what's your next one, Cam?
I want to do a fancy goldfish tank, and I've been umming and ahhing in my tank at home that I have nothing in. I'm thinking about doing that.
I have this strange relationship with fancy goldfish. Like, I know it's something I shouldn't like, but every time I see one, I'm kind of like, oh, that's pretty fancy.
I think it was Hollywood that was advertising. Was it lemon orandas or something like that a couple of weeks back?
No idea.
I thought they looked quite phenomenal, just like a bright yellow goldfish. I thought they were really, really cool.
Yeah, there is some super nice ones. Like that's one where like people go down so far down the rabbit hole, and there's some super nice stuff around. And I think more nice stuff is in the pipeline, of course. So yeah, I think that'll be so cool if we can. Like if you just filled the tank with like not even like filled, but like chuck 5 in there, like some super nice ones, like an assortment. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, I like the idea of it because once the tank's done, it's not like I could add a few corridors to it, or I could add a few different, like it's 240
just
liters,
done.
4 or 5 goldfish is kind of where it's at, and then it's done. Yeah, like there's no additional anything extra going to it, just these meat axes in the middle of the tank.
Yeah, and because like the good thing with goldfish as well is like in that kind of a setup, your kids and that would know like, oh, that's Bob, that's know whatever, and then get to know the personality and be more of a pet, and so there wouldn't be as much temptation to just like do a little bit more, like change this up or whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know about you, but you could pull that off very easily with like, a couple nice big rocks or something and keep it real simple, but like striking. So that you just look at the fish and there happens to be like some nice rocks or something, and not so much of a the slice of nature vibe that people go for.
Yeah, some sand at the bottom, some big round sort of rocks in the edges and the corners, and then maybe some cypress hellfire or whatever how you pronounce it.
Yeah, it looks like Val basically.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking, and that'd pretty much be it, give or take.
Yeah, I mean that'd be awesome. Like I think that'd be so cool. Like it's something I know like I shouldn't like in the sense of it's so random, and it's something that doesn't like it's not even close to like all the other fish I like and everything, but I'm really thinking about it. And even like it would be cool if you got a bit of like hair algae and stuff going in that sort of situation, like the long stringy stuff and like all of that, and then just like imagine just like chucking, similar to what I was saying about chucking in a bucket of worms with the big haps, like chucking a bucket of duckweed, and you just watch them going around like. That would be so fun. It would be so much fun.
Yeah.
I love it. That's such a good idea. I want to do that as well. See, this is bad because now I'm just going to have like, okay, now I've got 10 more tanks I've got to find space for and build because I like fish too much. Not that there is a too much, but I think that'd be so cool. I'm so excited. You got to do that now. I guess the decision's made.
I don't feel that. I don't feel that one. That one sounds dumb to me. But anyway, that's okay.
Yeah, of course it would, Mr. Judgy Pants.
Sounds like a boring tank. Sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Just to me. But you guys are on your goldfish buzz. Go do your dumb goldfish. That's fine.
Hey, we will. We just won't invite you.
African Cichlid, man.
Don't want to be invited to the goldfish party.
All right, fair enough.
I'm thinking along the lines of Cam's other tank before, but probably like a 3 meter tank, something big, 3 meters by, maybe 1.5 meters by 1 meter tall, with just male haps, a big tank, but 10 of each species of male hap, like 10 Kadangos, 10 giraffes, 10 dolphins. Just do big, massive schools of males. I think it'll be wicked. Just a wall of big, cool fish.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be kind of the dream. So, like, stuff you're thinking of would be like you said, Kadangos, and then giraffes, and
you could do Strigatus, Freyeri. You probably have to add some yellows or something to actually have some other colors.
What do you mean? You would have yellow, wouldn't you, from the Venustas? It's not like they're all going to be super dominant, are they?
Well, within a 3 meter tank, you'd have a lot coloured up. I reckon that's the idea of the big tank. I reckon that'll grow and all colour up. I mean, I've got 3 male dolphins coloured up in my tank in the lounge. It's only 1.5 meters. So. But that's what I was saying. It'll be cool to have like big schools of them and have numbers in a big tank.
Yeah, that'll be cool. And then you could chuck some some big old plecos in there. That'll be lit. Just like some big old plecos just cruising around. No. You could do common plecos so you can actually see them.
Nah, not my thing. Nah.
Yeah.
There's no common plecos in my tank. Sorry.
Lame. All right. Yeah. Well, no, I think that sounds like a cool idea. That would be one that would be like, one of the coolest tanks in the world kind of situation, really.
Pretty sure
I was planning it for the 3 meter plus space in the lounge, but now we're doing renos and I've got the tank that I've got, so it's what it is for now. But
for now,
when we do the renos, I might talk to the builder about just changing the plans a little bit, cut out on the wall,
Yeah, just leave you the option. It'd be rude not to.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, may as well. And I mean, if you propose, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
I'll make it conditional, you reckon?
Yeah.
Conditional situation. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Make the most of it,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Food for thought then. All right. We won't dwell. So a lot of the stuff we've been talking about is obviously like big, massive, like striking display tanks and stuff, which of course is very cool and I think really awesome. But I'm going to go a bit of a different way with this next one, just for, to make it a bit more relatable for the people. I reckon just like in somewhere like, I don't know, like somewhere like central in your house as well, like, in almost even in a kitchen or something, just like even a 2 foot, like 70 liter, what's that? Like 20 gallon tank, probably taller, not tall, but like you want to get some height in it too, like maybe 60 centimeters by, 30 centimeters by 45 centimeters or something, like just like a planted tank with just a ton of platies, but like you choose like, some, Ryan's talking while he's muted, what a moron. But like some platies of different colors, so you get like the whole rainbow effect and just like basically nothing else. Like maybe chuck a couple corridors or something in there, but for the most part, just like a big school of platies or a swarm of platies. And I think that'd be real fun, like particularly for kids and stuff. You get them all breeding and you get all different colors and all this kind of thing. I reckon that'll be so fun for like the entire, like it would be a good sort of family tank. And you can grow like maybe some polysperma or some, I don't know, crips or something, like just some lush kind of plants. And I reckon that would be so cool. That would be my kind of, like, if I was going to set up like a tank for the whole family, that would be my go-to, I guess.
Platies are a good.
Is that a dream tank though, or just a cool tank?
I think it would be a dream tank for the situation, for me, at least. Like, because I mean, I love my, Tangyikans and whatever, but I think that's a lot more relatable, and I think it would be a lot more like it would get everyone in the whole family involved, which is something that I think would be really cool and really, special.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
and
could,
that's
I
why.
think you could make it really like really awesome. Like if you put time and effort into sourcing like cool different platies, and then you get like some of each of them and everything. I reckon that would look so cool. And obviously you'd have like, well, not obviously, but like you'd have a lot of fish in there, so you'd have to, keep up with the maintenance on it and everything. But I reckon that would be part of the fun, just having like a stupid amount of platies in there. The whole rainbow effect. I reckon that'd be so cool. Maybe you'd want even slightly bigger than like 2 foot, but like not a big tank. Like just having a little tank like that, I think would be so cool.
On that note, do you think having like the rainbow effect, so 5 or 6 different colors, appeals more than just like one solid color? If that makes sense.
I'm not going to say more, but I'm going to say it's very different. I think the rainbow effect is something that will be really striking for like anyone, like it's particularly non-fish people, so like visitors and like kids and all this kind of thing. But then like if you had a bunch of like real nice like red wag platies, that would be something more like fish people would be into, rather than like some red ones, some blue ones, some yellow ones, all mixed together.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to say different.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, that's my. I just think that'll be so much fun. For like everybody. So yeah, that's my suggestion.
Cool.
So what do you got next? Sure.
Come back to me, so you skip me for now and come back to me.
We're going back around later then.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
No, either. Okay. I've got a list of things here.
Organized.
Well, otherwise I forget stuff, and then you'll put me on the spot, and I go, duh, I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't know what they're called, like the riparium or the vivarium or whatever they are. Like a puddle at the bottom, and then like growing some immersed plants up the back.
Oh yeah, and like heaps of sticks and mosses and stuff.
Yeah. So either a small, probably a 2-footer, couple foot high sort of scenario, maybe a single bidder in there, or maybe some gold minnows, possibly some ottos and some chili raspora or something along those lines. Just a small body of water, that the bulk of it being built up from the plants coming out with the waterfall coming through and that kind of thing. That's something I've always wanted to play around with.
I think that'd be really cool. Be like a little, like those little, what do they call them? Those little glass. Nah, but like those little, they do like those little glass jars basically with the top on it, and then you put like all the little mosses and stuff, and it's like the self-sustaining ecosystem.
Yeah,
it would be like a supersized version of that. Like you could just chuck that like on your coffee table or on a, just next to a couch or something, and just have it quietly, chugging away, but like look like a piece of art, kind of. I reckon that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I've always liked the idea of them. My plant growing ability isn't quite up to scratch to make it do what it needs to do.
Relatable content.
Yeah, but that sounds always interested me, that sort of style of setup.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. And you wouldn't even want like heaps of light on it or anything. I think you'd want it like quite gloomy and stuff, to replicate that sort of rainforest and like jungle type of vibe.
Yeah, but then that's where you struggle to grow the plants because they want the light as well. So it's catch-22.
Light on the plants, but then not on the water part.
Yeah.
And then the water part just have like, bulletproof plants that will be happy with whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like the plastic kind. But yeah, no, that sounds like really. That sounds like a really cool. That sounds like a really cool idea. I think that'd be so much fun. Like that's another one that's like a little, but like you'd get so much out of it type of tank rather than like a massive, like, oh my god kind of display. I guess it's almost a different way of thinking about the question, which I'm all about. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Unlike Ryan, who's not here for anything.
Comedy. You know the joke's good when you have to clap it yourself.
Yeah, can you explain it? I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I've got another tank anyway. Just you skipped me before when the kids were going off to school and Kim was off to work. So
we didn't skip you. It wasn't your turn.
Was my turn?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we're still in sync. But yeah, go to town. What's your suggestion?
I think along the line, I'm not copying Cam, but along the lines of Cam's one, I'm thinking it'll be cool to do a tank, any tank, but feeding it into like a plant wall. So I'm talking like big, like 3-4 meters wide, like across the whole wall in a house type thing, a wall of like living plants, and somehow have it all. I mean, I went to a house once that had like an entire plant wally room thing around their kitchen and stuff, and they're all grown up in the rafters and stuff, and it was just phenomenal. It'd be cool to feed something like that off a tank and have it all trickling down into the tank, and
there's a
wall and do all that sort of stuff.
There's a restaurant down in Christchurch that they've got a display tank in their main part of the restaurant, and the water feeds up through all the herbs and stuff like that on the back of the wall. And so the aquarium is providing all the nutrients for their herbs that they use for their cooking and stuff like that. I went down there a couple of years back and did a video on it. It's absolutely phenomenal. Pretty much exactly what you're talking about. It was really, really cool.
That's so cool. Yeah. That's so awesome. It's like using the aquarium more than just looking at, like the whole coming out of it vibe. I think is really cool.
Yeah. I think the problem in most houses is lighting.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't work.
You'd have to get some dedicated situations.
And the house that I did see had like the roof through the kitchen was all clear on the top that it worked in. They had like polycarbonate or something roofing right through there that was fully clear. It was almost like a glass house sort of situation. But I just thinking the other day, I was like, man, it'd be cool to just do that, have like heaps of plants, just a whole wall of it, like a whole wall of green. So
the only issue I suppose you'd have with that would be humidity, if you got all this damp moss and stuff growing up the wall.
Well, you'd have a lot of there would be a lot of logistics that and you'd have to waterproof it all and build it off the wall so it didn't soak into the wall, and you'd have to.
If you've got the money, I'm sure you can find a loophole or a solution to this problem. But
I just
sell some experience, and it won't be a matter. Yeah, that'd be real awesome. Like a whole kind of, especially at the moment. Like I think that's quite popular, like the indoor plants and stuff. Like even in like a workspace or like an office or something. Really like kind of bringing it all to life,
I regularly go into main freight in Hobsonville, and they've got an entire office full of plants. Like they obviously hire them. I asked the people, I was like, "Do you hire all these plants? Are they all real?" And they've just set them up on, like, they're just growing up like trellises and stuff. So they've got wall as office dividers and all sorts. It's real cool. I've often thought they need an aquarium in here too. They need a couple of aquariums in here at least.
Well, you can link them all up to the plants, and boom, situation solved.
Done. Sold.
Yeah, but no, that sounds real cool. Oh, Ryan's having a coughing fit. So my next one is probably in a similar vein, but no, actually, you know what? I'm going to save that one. I'll do that one later, because otherwise I'll end up talking about the same stuff over and over again. My next one is, again, probably wouldn't need a massive tank. Like a 3 or 4 foot tank would do the job, no worries. And just like, I would want to have like a bunch of rocks, like a little rock structure with like heaps of cracks and crevices and like holes and stuff through it. So like, bunches of slate piled up on each other or whatever. And then a bunch of the Jewelitochromistic feldi, which is like a jewelry with like black stripes on the body and like
you've already
blue
done
fins.
This. You've got this display tank in your shop. You've got the display tank in your shop.
I haven't finished the story yet, have I, Dick?
Pulling you out.
I haven't finished it. Let me finish the story, and you can say whatever you want. It's like having that probably more central, like in a bit of a like island situation with all the jewelries going through the middle in that, and then having like a big kind of almost field of the shell dwellers, but probably the gold ocellatus I think would contrast nicely. Having a bunch of them in a field, like around one sort of part of it, and then having the entire other half of the tank, like
with manatees.
You what? Sorry.
Nothing. All right.
I was going to say the entire other half of the tank, just like a real dense jungle of like we can't do this in Auckland at least, but like just a real dense jungle of Vallisneria, all just like basically you can't see through it and like all flopping over the top of the tank and everything like that, and giving like a real like, oh, what's going on in there? And like maybe there'd be like a 5-bar Lampropologus or something in there, like your little scary thing that's hanging out in there and then pops out and scares you. But I think that'd be real, like that'd be so fun and something real different. Because like the jungle, I'm kind of thinking of like almost like a cornfield you see in a horror movie or something, just like super dense. You have no idea what's going on in there. I don't know. You could probably use like some of the crypts and stuff in Auckland now, but the idea I have in my head is with the Vallisneria, and I think that'd be so cool. Like really like, oh my god, what's going on here? Like you probably wouldn't get that much interest, like color, but you get a lot of interest out of it.
It's a massive shame we can't freaking get Vallisneria in Auckland today. I mean, I understand it because it's gone through and choked all the ponds because of the aquarium trade. But man, I would actually grow some in all my tanks because it just grows like a weed and looks cool.
To be fair, you didn't have any when we could get it, so
I was just thinking that
we haven't been able to get it for what 10, 15 years.
Yeah, but the twisted we could get till recently.
Twisted, yeah, but Twisted's dumb. It's not the fast-growing straight one.
Yeah, but Twisted will grow fast, but it looks cool. I like it.
Grows pretty quickly.
Yeah, it'll grow just as fast as anything. But I reckon that would be really cool, like a really interesting, like aquascape, if you will. Yeah, and then you could do you could just power that off like sponge filters or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like it'll be so easy. You might want a little bit of flow in there for the valve to like, jostle around like it's like all in the wind, like all spooky like. But yeah, it would be so easy, but I haven't done it, so it can't be that easy.
There's a species of can't remember the name of it. That grows ridiculously big, like it's bigger than Balance type of thing. That would probably do what you want as well.
Retrospiralis, is it?
No. It's a similar to Balance, but a wider leaf.
I have no idea, but that'll be cool as.
It's meant to be in the country.
Oh god! Now this is something I'm gonna have to do as well. See, there's like, oh god, this is a bad podcast idea. Now I'm just gonna end up doing another 25 tanks.
Need a bigger shop.
Yeah, exactly. Need display fish rooms. Need to film a house. All this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's I reckon, cool idea. So, what do you got next, Cam?
I've always wanted to do a really big river tank for plecos, like a real long, shallow one that has ridiculously fast water flow through it.
Oh yeah, that sounds lit.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of the interwebs, and since seeing them, I've always wanted to do them. I didn't even hear what he said, so
he said next.
Oh right,
but that actually would be quite cool. Like, probably not the most exciting tank, but I reckon like to look at, like, it's not something I keep, but it'd be something quite cool to look at, like seeing the water shooting down real fast. Like,
I think you'll find it'll be really exciting and really cool to look at.
Because you'd probably do that system where like you have the water intakes at one end and then it goes back along underneath the substrate and then shoots it out the other end, so it's all like linear flow away.
Pretty much, yeah.
That would be so cool, I reckon. And you could, I mean, it depends how strong the flow is, obviously, but like chuck a bunch of like Bosmani rainbows or something in there in the middle section, or I don't know what else, even like white clouds in that.
I want to chuck something in that's from the right biotype for the plecos that he's using. But Andre had some videos on this sort of stuff in his thing. Remember how he had like real high flow areas, and there were certain fish that were just zipping in the high flow. And then
there was even like, I can't even remember what it was, but there was like random like Geophagus or something. It was like Braziliensis geos or something was like just hanging out in the super high flow puddle, I guess you would call it. Just stuff like that. Like, I reckon you could do something cool. And then because you'd probably have it like, what I would do is like have an open top with like, all the marginal plants and stuff growing out and like
exactly it.
That kind of thing. Yeah, I'm coming around. The plecos would be kind of incidental for me. Like, obviously. Well, this is. I am one of three, aren't I? But yeah, no, that would be acceptable. You know what? That would be really cool in a shop. I don't know if I'd have that in my house. I think I'd get bored of it real fast. But like in a shop, I reckon that would be really cool.
Yeah, it would have to be a shop or.
He's just having a coffin fit.
Some sort of a weird
noisy, wouldn't it? So you're
yeah. I don't think that'd be.
No, but that would be good. I think having it noisy would be good, because then like, you get that background noise of like the trickling water, like in a shop.
You don't have children, do you?
Obviously, I don't.
Noise is not good.
I'm old enough to be young enough to be your child.
No, you're not.
Father.
Like that.
Yeah, I am.
Totally like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know about that, but I reckon that would be really cool in a shop environment. And then you could like put a couch opposite it and like just sit there and like have coffee and stuff. See, okay, I'm coming around. I'm coming around.
A shop environment, warehouse, maybe the right setting in an office type of scenario. Absolutely.
Did you just say warehouse?
Yeah, in a warehouse type scenario.
I don't know about that. That seems really weird.
Taking a warehouse, it doesn't seem.
Someone would drive a forklift into it.
A warehouse, like a showroom type warehouse, you dorks.
For what sort of thing?
Anything, because you want to get more people having aquariums.
Insect screens.
It's a warehouse for drink bottles, and there's an aquarium because water and drink bottles work together. Duh.
So do you drink out of the fish tank?
For the sake of this argument, yes, we do.
Okay. All right. I'm not feeling your warehouse, but I am thinking.
I'm thinking
of how cool it would be to design that tank and build it.
You'd have to get your aquascaping pants on though, big boy? Fill it with your aqua soil?
No, I'm just trying to think of how much flow you'd need to do to get a decent, like how big the pumps would have to be and how you'd get it all. It would be cool.
Yeah.
You'd probably need the like big, swimming pool ones and like sand filter ones and stuff.
Yeah.
No fish tank one's going to cut the mustard, but hey,
you'd
it's
have to
worth
make
it.
sure that overflows would be pretty critical.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just YOLO it, man. What
It's only
kind of plecos would
it's
you
in a
put in
warehouse
there?
anyway, so
Yeah, it doesn't matter. What plecos would you put in there? Well, this is not fun for the discussion then.
What? What was your question?
What plecos would you put in there?
Either probably gold nuggets or green and or blue phantoms. Probably green phantoms because I think they're awesome.
I don't know enough about plecos, but I think you'd want something with a lot more stripes. Just completely arbitrary aesthetic purposes, but I feel like stripes would be cooler than spots.
Nuggets and phantoms are more of the outgoing ones. They come out a little bit more often than what some of the other ones do.
Yeah, but still, they're plecos, so I mean, they're not going to come out. But
so they are also you really need to do yourself a proper pleco tank one day, and you'll actually find they do come out and they do sit in the front quite regularly.
Bro, I got an empty tank sitting in the shop right now. I basically have one.
Do it. Don't be so soft. Don't be a pussy. Do it.
He's done it. He's got an empty tank. He said it.
It was a joke.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought you were implying you've got an empty tank ready to put some plecos in it. Do it.
I would literally rather put anything else in that tank. But hey,
you're so useless.
I am. Awesome. But yeah, I would chuck a big cactus pleco in my big tank or something. But
yeah, cactus and sunshines are rad.
I would do a sunshine actually, but
yeah, both of them are real pretty fish.
Spend that much money on a pleco, to be honest. But hey, they are cool fish. Oh, you know what is cool?
You just said it. Someone, we need to cut that soundbite. Cam just.
You know what is cool? Vampires are cool. I really like the vampire plecos. Yeah, they're kind of creepy, but I like it.
Yeah, they're quite rad.
I don't even know what that is.
There's a few plecos in that spiky range that are cool.
It's just a spotty black thing.
Yeah, but it looks badass. Looks dangerous.
It does look dangerous, yep. I'll give you that. Okay.
All right. What's your next one, Baldy?
I'd like to do, it'd be a bad idea in terms of breeding, but a big, massive mixed Tropheus tank. I think it'll be cool.
I don't know about that, but
I can get behind that one.
No, I think I'm talking like big, and I'm talking like hundreds of fish. 20 of 5-6 different species, and some of the stuff that we're hopefully going to get in the country soon, like red rainbows and all that sort of stuff, and like decent, real good stuff, and icola and just cool, everything mixing together, colors, activity. I think it'll be wicked. Obviously, everything.
I don't know about that one.
And it'll be a big, massive mix, be a big, massive mess, but it would look cool.
I can get behind that.
You don't like it?
I don't know if I can. Nah, I don't know.
You're a fan of species Tropheus, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I know it would work logistically, but like aesthetically speaking, I think just having one massive like swarm of one would be a lot more striking. Like instead of having like 20 of 6 species, like have whatever 20 times 6
100
is.
of one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think that'd be way cooler. But hey, it's your tank. You can do whatever you want.
No, I think we're cool.
I think that's why it's cool, because like you don't often see 3 or 4 different species in one tank together. And
but there's a reason you don't.
Because people don't have big enough tanks to do it. And watching that.
Yeah, fair enough. I didn't think that the argument through far enough.
Yeah, and also they're going to breed and they're going to crossbreed, and it's just going to be a freaking mess, and you're going to have to clean it out all the time and get rid of all the babies and
put some cookies in
there. Chuck a bunch of multis in there, and hopefully they won't.
They'll deal with it.
Or altos.
Actually, yeah, that'll be quite cool.
Yeah. I just
Get some real big fat ones. Yeah. I'm coming around. I like it more than when you first said it, but still, I don't know if it's my favorite of the suggestions we've had so far today. I'll say this: I would probably rather Cam's big pleco tank than that.
That's right.
So, yeah,
That's
terrible. That's my opinion. All right, I accept that. I can't believe I just said that, but I stand behind it. All right, my next tank is. I don't 100% know about this tank, but I think it would be quite cool. And so that would be probably like a 5-foot tank with heaps of like root-shaped driftwood hanging down, like probably like spiderwood or whatever, all hanging down, and then heaps of like terrestrial plant roots across the back, like monsteras, and then have them arching over the top and have it look real gloomy, like really like not much light and everything, and just have like one massive like, oh my god, black ghost knife, and then like some what are they called? You know those rainbow fish that are red that are a lot more like narrow top to bottom, like just
Not
heaps
red
of
rainbow.
those. I have no idea, maybe, but like just a bunch of those and like a big ass black ghost knife, and like really focus on the knife fish, and like probably have some tannins in there and like I don't know, some other stuff like that. But I reckon that would be really like cool and like interesting and like creepy. Like I think that'd be cool. Or maybe even Bosmani rainbows, like for a splash of color, thinking about it. Because I don't know if the reds would be bright enough, but like really focusing on the knife fish.
Could do the neon blues.
Yeah, could do. Actually, that'd be cool. Or maybe even just like a bunch of rainbow fish, like just like, you know, a few different groups. And what you even could do, or like, I don't know how you'd work it, but like, you know what they do with the kiwis at the zoo, where they make it like nighttime during the daytime and then daytime during the nighttime. Like even something like that, I reckon. Like we have like lots of blue light going through it in the daytime, where you can kind of see the knife fish more. I reckon that'd be quite weird and quite cool. Like that'd be a good, you know, office type display. Like if you had like a home office, I reckon that'd be quite cool in like a home office type situation or something. For like your little bud, the little knife fish, just hanging out with you. I reckon that'd be fun.
Would they eat
Weird but fun?
They eat lots of stuff. They eat lots of fish, don't they? By fish, are they predatory?
Well, yeah, they'll eat like little fish, but like not when they're big. Like they wouldn't be able to eat rainbows in that, but you know, if you put like a bunch of cardinals or something, they get eaten.
At night or something, eh?
Yeah, usually they're more outgoing, like more active at night. So there'll be a lot more easy for them to get stuff. But yeah, I reckon that'd be fun. So that's my suggestion. Like it'd be a very nerdy tank, but like in a good way.
That'd be cool. It's kind of you've got a couple of your tanks like that with the roots coming down from the top and stuff, and they look quite cool. They're quite natural.
Yeah, but like that on steroids, because like all the tanks that I have that in, the fish nibble on them, but I don't think anything in that tank would nibble on them, so they get way longer and way more like weeds.
The Monstera roots are real thick too. They're a different sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not that real thin. They're almost like a piece of wood, a real thin piece of spider wood or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was thinking them more than like the other ones, to give that a bit more of a like farm sort of vibe. So yeah. What do you got next, Cam? Should we do one more each?
We can make that work.
Cool. Sweet. All right. What's your lucky last, Cam?
I've always had a hankering to do an oddball tank. Fire eels, birches, black ghost knife, that sort of scenario. Maybe up the top with either Oscars or some sort of a arowana, maybe. That's something I've always had a wee hankering to do. So
Yeah.
that would be something for me. Probably wouldn't want anything smaller than a 6-foot tank. Don't want to call it a monster fish tank, but more of an oddball type of thing.
Predator type stuff.
Yes, sort of predator, kind of not predator, not in the sense of like really aggressive, want to eat everything type predator, but their main
Opportunist.
yeah, that's probably the way of putting it. Their main way they hunt is just opportunistically. So
Yeah, that would make sense.
A lot of them are sort of bottom dwelling fish, so you'd have to have something up the top, which is where like the Oscar or marijuana or something would sort of fall into place.
You could even do like, I don't know if it'd be as much top, but like a flagtail would be quite cool.
Oh, yeah,
flagtail Procholotus. I reckon that'd be cool. Like something in a similar vein.
Silver sharks, lots of them.
Yeah, I hate those fish. But yeah, I understand the thought. I'd rather do the tinfoil barbs. But yeah, I think that'd be cool. I can get behind that. Like something like really like every time you look at it, you'll be like, "What the hell? This is so weird."
And as they get bigger, they'll get real big and chunky sort of thing, and they become big centerpiece animals.
Surely you'd do a clown knife instead of a ghost knife, and then that would be out in the middle of the area, like the middle area of the tank.
I personally prefer black ghost knives over clown knives.
Me too, but for that middle area of occupation of the tank.
Yeah, I don't know if a 6-foot tank's going to be big enough for a clown knife.
Yeah, but just do a bigger tank. Problem solved. This is all imaginary, so it doesn't really matter.
That's true.
Yeah, but no, I can get behind that. And you'd probably want like minimal, like, I mean, you probably won't, but like you'd almost want like tiles on the bottom or like fine white sand and like, a few bits of wood or something and not much else.
Yeah, I can't get behind the tiles, but yeah, some sort of a sand with wood tangles would pretty much be.
Honestly, tiles I think is so underrated. Like I see so many cool tile tanks. Like people do tiles and then do like epiphyte only like driftwood scapes, and I'm like, God, that actually looks so cool.
Yeah,
I like it. It is on my list of to-dos, but I don't have a tile cutter.
Or you could put some sand or something on the bottom, and it just looks 10 times better.
I don't know. Jury's out. But yeah, I can get behind that. I think that'll be cool.
Cool.
All right. What do you reckon, Ryan?
I'm going to go with
a
big massive frontosa and featherfin tank. We can't get featherfins here, but we're talking about dream tanks here, right? So, we have had them here.
The idea was stuff available in New Zealand, but
okay. Well,
and by
we'll start off with blue.
By featherfin, you mean you don't mean synodontis. You mean the
I mean Tinganik and Flashes sardines.
Yeah. Just to clarify for the listeners.
Yeah. Well, I mean you'll have to Google them because they're cool. But we'll start with blues eye ear, like big, massive blues eye ear, big tank, like 3-meter tank type thing. That's big, and there has to be like 30 or 40 of them. A big colony. Yeah. Big bastard fish and blue, real dim lighting and just them cruising around, happy. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be cool to add the feather fins like everyone does overseas, but yeah. We no longer can
as of them. The moment. Yeah. But you could do even I don't know if you would, but surely you could do like giant danios and stuff as a substitute.
Yeah, there's a few things. Rainbow fish probably would work potentially as well. But yeah.
Cam will cancel you then if you do that. So
yeah, we used to use rainbow fish a lot for dithers for Africans. And they were cool, but yeah. I think it'd be cool to
rainbows.
What's that?
What'd be cooler if we get the African rainbows?
Yeah, it'd be cool if we get a lot of cool fish, but that's all right.
Yeah, they are really cool. I mean, I really like them. It is a bit of a shame, but hey, it's
got what we got.
dreamland, so it doesn't matter. We
got
can
what
do
we
whatever
got.
we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least we've got plenty of cool stuff around, so can't complain too much.
Yeah, we can only do what we can do, unfortunately, but that's all right.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I think that'll be real cool. You'd need that in a place with like real low sort of foot traffic in that, eh?
Exactly. That's the thing with them, and that's why I don't keep Frontosa, is because I don't have tanks big enough, and also because my fish room's too small for them. As soon as I open the door, they'll freak out, smash into everything. My lounge would probably be okay, but yeah.
When you get
tank.
your renos done, surely you can fit a Frontosa tank in there in your proposal studio.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
liking
no, I
my
reckon
chances.
that'll be
Not
cool.
liking my chances of getting another tank, but we'll work on it.
Yeah, but that's why you got to propose, and problem solved.
A
See,
conditional
man, you
proposal.
got to
I don't know
think
if
2
that
steps
works.
ahead. Two steps ahead.
Cent you spend on the ring is a cent you can spend on an aquarium. Don't be a cheap ass. Put $10,000 into a ring, then have a $10,000 aquarium.
No, but that's $10,000 less I can spend on an aquarium if I spend all money on a rig. So cubic zirconia it is.
And aluminium. Just make
Yeah.
one out of your insect screens. Sure, you can make that work.
Just bash one out of okay. Anyway, let's
join
change the
together.
subject.
Brian doesn't like talking about this, so that's awkward.
He's just
But no,
worried that
and
he's going to listen one day.
She won't listen this far.
I'm sure someone will clip it and send it to her. Someone being me, but you know what? So I think that yeah, that's a cool idea. So I like it. But I guess for my next one, I had a couple. What should we go with next? All right. So I suppose this is the last one, isn't it? So for my one, I think what would be really sort of, I don't know how to describe it, but like fun, I guess, would be, this is probably going to be a bit of a loophole, but I like it. So imagine like, you have like a deck or whatever where like not a big one, but there's like a table and like, chairs and stuff. And then down off the edge, just a big ass pond, like kind of a big sort of circular one with, I mean, this isn't a tank, but YOLO. And then like bushes and stuff and like plants and stuff around it. And then like you can sit there right on the edge and then straight down, you just got a bunch of like real cool, nice goldfish. Like your just standard comets, but
Why
like
wouldn't you have a
fat,
heated
happy
pond?
ones.
If you're doing a dream pond, why wouldn't you do a heated one and do like a big?
Well, because I think if it was dream, I want it to be like super like easy, and I guess it's like taking inspiration from like a lot of the Japanese stuff, and like just have a real nice garden, like around the side with like bushes and that, and then like in it have like on the top have a bunch of like lilies and that, and then just like a nice little table. You just sit there, have your coffee, chuck some food in, watch the fish do their thing. I just reckon that would be so peaceful, and like that's something I really want to do. But like obviously I don't own, well not obviously, but I don't own a house, so I can't do it. But I reckon, and like even they could like swim under the deck. Like there's a little bit of a hidey hole. Maybe chuck like a couple big freshwater eels in there, like the New Zealand natives, to pick off any of the little goldies and that. Like if they're breeding
I'm
too
feeling
much.
a lot of feng shui with this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm bringing out my inner Chinese, but I reckon that'll be so cool. Like,
I'm getting
I don't know.
karate
Are you going to have some bonsai there too?
You know what? That'd actually be awesome. Well, maybe one of those what do they call it? The Japanese maple trees. But I reckon that'd be so cool.
The bonsai juniper.
Yeah.
Karate Kid vibes here.
But like even you could go like swim in it. Like you have those
I
like
see
the
him
big
having the
pier
platform in the
pond.
middle. The platform in the middle that they'll have to balance on and do their moves so they don't fall in the water.
The Karate Kid move.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I reckon that'd be so much fun, and it'd be so like cool. Like you'd be like the guy with the awesome pond, and like you could go swim in it, and you have Yeah, I reckon having some big ass eels in there would be awesome. You know, like the eels at the zoo where they're like as big as your leg, just like a couple big old eels in there. Like, oh, that'll be awesome.
Wouldn't they just eat all the goldfish?
Not when the goldfish are like big, I don't think.
I don't
But
know
the
much about
idea is
eels,
that
but
honestly, neither. I do way more research before I did this, but I think this would be a cool idea. And like, yeah, you go swimming, have your coffee, all this kind of stuff. I reckon it'd be so much fun.
okay.
And you guys don't
I
agree,
feel you. I feel no, I feel you. I feel you. I think it's cool. I'd like to do a big outdoor heated one. I just don't know the logistics of that.
Yeah. Got to sell some more insect screens to be able to heat a big old pond, eh?
Pay the power bill for like a heat pump. It was like a swimming pool heat pump to heat the bloody thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, one day, eh?
And in your pond, do you have like a viewing window down below, or is it all viewed from the top?
I think it'll all be viewed from the top. Like, because you can get, I don't know if it's as much of a thing in New Zealand, but you get like the top view goldfish. They're like bred to be viewed from the top, and then you get like the
Patterns
side
and
view
shit on the
ones.
top. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like, I think I'd just focus on that, and then like, you know, you'd rescue a whole bunch of goldfish from like whenever you see them in like those little jars and stuff, and then grow them out maybe in like a tank, and then chuck them in there once they get big enough, and then I just reckon that'd be so much fun and so like cute. I'm really digging this goldfish vibe, I guess. This is so weird. We talked about goldfish twice.
I can get behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goldfish.
Yep.
Yeah.
All good.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I think we are done for now. Before any more goldfish and pleco suggestions get thrown out, I think we've had about enough of that sort of shenanigans for the day. Thanks for watching or listening, or if anyone's even still here. And make sure you like and subscribe. And the merch, the merch is kind of dead in the water at the moment, so we need some more inquiries for that. I think we've had one, maybe, but that's all right. Cam's still working diligently on it. It's looking amazing. And yeah, we'll talk to you next time.
See you later.
See ya.